Salutations! We're actually gonna have a review this video of basically the last three songs of the album. And it's actually a pretty simple reason why I didn't do a reaction is because this was my reaction. It was that I had nothing to say through any of the songs, and it's not like they're bad songs. That's why I had nothing to say. It's more like I didn't have really much knowledge on like what the songs were, or the genres that at least they try to represent. That I just preferred giving you guys a video, giving my a few comments on each song, than just giving my overall opinion on the album in one video instead of boring you guys with like a reaction. So I say we just start with Ordinary. Ordinary was basically Avenged Sevenfold's take on a punk, like Daft Punk, right? And I truly believe that by itself, it's a good song. It's a good, fun song to listen to. But I think it's more important to see it from the perspective, is it a good song for this album? And in that case, I would have to argue no. I don't think it was a good song for this album. I think we've clearly established a vibe through the first half, which was very like weird, but it had a lot of screaming, but a lot of acoustic and calm sections. And this one had nothing of that. They just threw in a random genre 2 songs before the album ends. So I didn't really like the fact that they did that. But once again, as a song by itself, it's good, but I don't think it was just the right fit for this album. I do believe the same thing, not the same thing, but kind of the opposite for Death, where I do believe it was a great fit for the album. I just thought it was a very boring song because it was just emotional. Life is But a Dream is where things get interesting, in my opinion. I think ending it with an instrumental is a fitting and a great call, but I think it is very ballsy to have an instrumental at the end of the album that is just piano. Because let's admit it, we are in a genre, the metal genre does have a lot of people that are gonna be like, no guitar, no drums, then why the hell did you create this, right? There are a lot of very like close-minded people, and so I think it's just very ballsy that a metal band such as Avenged Sevenfold that is very huge took that type of approach. So honestly, give them credit where credit is due. But I thought it was pretty boring as well. I have no idea anything about the piano, right? I'm not knowledgeable on how to play it. Kind of know the theory because I know a bit of guitar theory. But overall, it had some nice melodies, some cool stuff happened here and there. But I would never go back to it. I don't think I'm gonna go to my instrumental playlist that I have, by the way, and put this in there. Cause why would I? It would just bore me. It was kind of for the ending of an album like this one. I think, and in my personal opinion, it should have been a big bang. Kind of like the stage type, not like the stage the album. I mean like the stage of the song. That's a banger, and if they would have ended it like something like that, I think would have been a great album and kind of take me out of this disappointment that I got from basically G, Ordinary, and Death. But this one kind of didn't disappoint, but it just didn't add anything to it. So I still feel kind of defeated in a way because I didn't get that wow factor that I was craving again from all the shit that I heard at the beginning of the album. I think definitely the first half is way stronger than the second half, and that it is very unfortunate. But I would still would claim that this was a good album. I think this is definitely something that Avenged Sevenfold needed, or I wouldn't say needed, more like this is something they wanted and they definitely executed. That's a better way of saying it. And I think we definitely have to give credit where credit is due. At the end of the day, Avenged Sevenfold is a metal band, and they have, clearly a structure, a tone that made the band famous, that people want to go to their concerts for, the reason people listen to their music, and they decided to, you know what, we love that we did this type of music back then. We love the fact that you guys love it, but at the end of the day, we want to make the music that we love and we want to try something new. And they went out of their bubble and they tried it, and they definitely executed in that aspect of it, that they had the balls to do something different. And that's always respectable, especially on a genre like metal, that there's a lot of gatekeeping, that there's a lot of different mentalities from like different generations getting into it. And I think it's a very good thing to have, that things that I liked from certain parts of the album is probably something that someone else didn't like, and something that that person didn't like is probably something that I like. That type of mentality to have opens up for discussions for different like groups of people or communities on the genre, and that's absolutely a good thing. That's the way we could get things going, to stop this gatekeeping mentality, to stop this kind of, band versus band or community versus community thing. Because once we all have the same opinion on certain things, that we all need to have this song in certain structures, or we need to have these transition, these songs, they have to follow this certain pattern of instruments, music is just not gonna evolve. And I think this is definitely a good path to it, even though I think the second half of the album is very weak. There's a lot to appreciate on it, and for that, I think it's a great album, and I would definitely go back to listen to some of the songs. So if you guys loved this Avenged Sevenfold journey with me as much as I did, like and subscribe. Other than that, see you guys later. Deuces.